There. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Renegade Network. We're here tonight with Kevin Douglas in the Colonel Command Center. We're going to give ourselves a little recap of last year and basically going into the big race this weekend, correct?
Yes.
And you are the defending champ, so you have the big target on your head.
Yeah, well, I do, I guess.
And from what I noticed, you're leading the points. You're doing really well this year.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a year. It's been
So
really good.
there's 2 races left?
Point races, yep.
2-point races, and you have like an 86-point lead.
82, I think, maybe, yeah.
What does that translate to with 2 races to go? Where do you have to finish to? You just
The most you can get in a race is 60. So, I mean, if you win heat and feature, you get 60 points. So I could take a week off, and then I'd still be up 22. It's a comfortable lead.
So we're not anywhere near anything like what happened last year can happen.
No, not like that.
Beautiful. Well, let's just play this because it's something we can do here. This is, I believe, your last race. I believe.
Yeah.
Well, what I want to know is, when you go out there and you race these races and you're going how fast?
You get up around 100.
100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The race is over, you load it in the trailer.
Yeah.
How do you get in your truck and stay somewhat speed limit? It's got to feel like you're crawling.
Honestly, I don't drive fast on the road. I don't. It doesn't carry over to that. I'm more of a slow driver on the road. So.
A friend of mine raced Docker, and he said his wife would be horrified on the ride home.
Oh no! I'm not like that. No, you can ask me. No, I don't drive fast on the road.
So we're looking at a heat race right here, and.
No, I think it might be the feature.
Is this the feature?
Yeah, it's the feature. I don't think we got the heat race. My brother forgot the batteries in the GoPros, so.
He's done that before.
He did it again. So.
Does he realize?
Now this is the feature.
You got to get new batteries every year because they don't hold as much.
No,
juice.
he just forgot to put them in. So, yeah. So you can talk to him about that.
Well, has he put the app on his phone so that he can?
I think he has.
He can turn everything. Like if you were going around slow, he could still turn it on.
Honestly, when it comes to that stuff, he does all of it. So I don't do any of that.
But he does a good job. He's got a new camera. You can tell this is great.
He's got a couple of them. Yeah, he's got one that's a 360 and one that's an older one.
Now,
which one's which? But
going 100 miles an hour. I've been watching Maverick clips the last week, and I noticed Maverick the facial. What I was wondering is, what if there was a camera on the dash? What would they see your face? What are you turning in for G's?
Oh, there's G-force in it. I know for me, for some reason, I always lean my head to the left, and it's not anything I intentionally do, it's just natural. And my neck gets tired, so I've got to lay my head on the headrest after, 50 laps or something. I get tired and have to lay it on the headrest.
Now, how much of what your brother's saying to you are you comprehending? I know you're hearing things, but you comprehend everything?
Everything.
Even though everything is going so fast?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when he's on the radio, I don't even pay attention to my mirrors. He just tells me what I need to know, and he does an awesome job.
How many years did it take of doing this
It took a couple, but with him, he wanted to get better. So he wanted to be a good spotter. He'd watch NASCAR spotters or, listen to Mike Landry, who used to spot for me and does a really good job. And he's learned a lot, and he's come a long way. And, I mean, you can listen to it on this. He's the best you've had.
Now, how has the competition been this year? I mean, you're in victory lane basically every week, whether it's a victory
Yeah,
or...
I mean, there's one time I wasn't because I wrecked, but it's been a heck of a year. Yeah, it's one of those dream seasons.
How has the year been? Have you seen, like, the economy being in the tank, it costing people a lot of money?
Yeah.
Maybe drive a little different going...
Well, yeah, you don't want to stave it up because it costs a lot to fix them, So I try to keep it in one piece, and, this year I've done a pretty good job, but I've stoved it up a couple times. If you watch the race before this one, I had no left front fender, and the nose was all stove up, but you just try to keep it in one piece. It makes it easier, too, because then you can just work on making it faster, not fixing it.
What's different in the car this year than last year? Do you find any more speed, or you're just consistent?
No, just consistently about the same. And everybody's pretty close. We all go out there and practice, and we'll I know
boss
I know as of today there was 33 signed up, and that's not counting a few that I know are already coming that are on that list.
Is that 30? Is that 33 like pre-season where everybody signs up and registers?
No, because you pay to register.
So this 33 is there a cap on the field?
I don't know exactly what they're doing on the website. It says 28, but
So
I don't know. Oh, some are going to go home because I bet you they'll be 40.
We have a champions provisional. In case we
Well,
do.
it's a points provisional for Wiscasset, so it's the highest point person that doesn't make the race for Wiscasset is a provisional. So
What's different this year than last year going into this race where you're the winner? Is your plan the same exact plan as last year, or are you going to change it up?
no, I feel the same as I did last year. You know, and last year going into it, I wouldn't have picked me to win. Last year, just everything worked out. It went good. The car was good. It's just one of those days you don't always have. You know, and like I've tried to tell everybody else that it's like, oh, well, you know, you've won 5 races this year. You've been doing really good. It doesn't matter. You know, it's one race. It's a lot of very good people showing up. Do I think we're on that level? I don't know. But I'm a pessimist anyway, so
Going into this,
I'd rather go in thinking I don't have a chance and then end up winning the race and I feel better about it. So.
where it's not a points race, it's a check, correct?
It is.
So-
It is, and they upped it to 10 grand.
So it's a good check.
It's a very good check.
Now, a good check, a fast car with a good point lead, does that make you change like how you might be going this? Like you're going for it a little bit more because
Not necessarily, because I still got a year to finish up. So, you know, my goal coming into the year was win the championship. It wasn't win the Boss Hog race. So, do I want to repeat? Absolutely. But, you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's okay.
how do you like big money races?
I like them. You know, I like long races. I think, you know, what little I've dealt with long races, we seem to do good, and I try to save as much as I can. And we end up we did pretty good last year. So
Like I was telling you earlier about your program, about watching the Hunt in the Front videos.
Yeah.
When you watch them, they just go all over Florida, Georgia, just going after big races. Each week it's 50 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand. That's got to be a rush, you know?
I'm not used to racing for that kind of money. So
Must be
it's-
pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like last year when I was in the race, I wasn't thinking it's $5,000 to win. I'm thinking I just want to go and I want to do what we're doing and win this race. So I can't go any different into this year. You know, it's just it is what it is, and we'll do the best we can.
At no point in time, even with like one to go, you weren't saying $5,000.
It wasn't about the money; it was about winning the race. I wasn't thinking about the money.
So you like that big trophy?
It's taller than me, so yes.
Who has helped make you? Who's made this possible for you this year? That helped you with sponsoring this car and helping you get to the track each week?
Well, it all starts with Jeff Taylor. I mean, he built the car. He's the man. You know, he figures things out. He knows what you need to have and does an awesome job. I just picked a car from him tonight, actually. So he does a lot. Richard, Vanessa, they do. I can't even put it into words. They've done so much for me that I've never had anything like this. So without them, I wouldn't be racing. So them, and then all the sponsors. I mean, Joe Sullivan, TJ's Place, Ray Haskell, Jordan Lumber.
I was wondering about that when I see Ray Haskell on the side of a Chevy.
Yeah. Well, we're friends, so you know he does it just to help out and yeah.
So the crazy Ray has something to do with it. We're putting his name on a Chevy.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Go
he's
down-
okay with it.
Go down and see Ray.
Yeah. Well, they do sell used, so
Yeah.
you know, you get a Chevy there too.
Everybody's selling
Yeah.
these right now. Not
Right.
many people have new cars.
No, exactly. So, but no, I mean, 1890 Primitives is strictly roofing. There's a bunch, and they all contribute enough to make it possible so we can do this.
Is this weekend a more expensive weekend than your normal weekend?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're allowed 10 tires, so I mean that's more money. I'm only gonna get 8, but regardless, it's still money. But yeah, I mean, you just up your preparedness a little bit,
take the lineup like you did last year. Everyone is called up. When they call your name, is there any bit of that last guy got cheated really loud? They didn't say a damn word when they called my name. Is there any of that going through your mind? Or just go wave everything? And
I mean, I don't normally get a lot of boos. If I do, I don't hear them, so I mean that's good.
Yeah. You ever at the Oxford 250 with Ralph Mason?
Oh yeah,
His name and boo, and he'd just be like, yeah.
I saw Cole Butcher after he won the race, and there was a short video of it. And people were booing him, and I don't know. I mean, I'd rather be cheered than booed, but there's going to be people who like you and people that don't like you.
How did the 250 go down? I heard about a bump or someone hitting the brake.
Yeah, well, it was Johnny was leading, Cole Butcher was second, and they came up on a lapped car, and Johnny got in the back of the lapped car and checked up, and Cole got in the back of him and spun him out. And I mean, it was a racing deal. It sucks. I mean, I'd hate to be in Johnny's shoes, but it's one of those things that happens. It's not like the 53 tried to dump him to win the race, but it was just unfortunate.
How many laps did Johnny lead?
I don't know exactly how many he led, but there was only 8 or 9 laps left when that happened. So, yeah.
Bad break.
It was. I wouldn't want to be in that position in the Boss Hog race, so, hopefully that doesn't happen.
How much of it is luck and how much of it is skill?
There's some luck. I mean, you gotta hope things fall right. You gotta hope on a restart you're in the right line. There's so many variables to it. You never know what's gonna happen. You do the best you can and with what you're dealt, and hopefully it works out to your favor, but it doesn't always.
Boy, it's insane how fast you're going around that track.
But honestly, when you're in the car, it doesn't feel like that.
You've done it too long. Because I know I have the Sport 4 car that I look and say, oh, they're going slow. I'll watch it. Then you get out there and it's like, whoa.
Well, I know Dale Jr., a fan or something, this was years ago, and they asked if, he could see them in the stands and whatnot. And he said he could. When you've done it a long time, things slow down. It doesn't seem like that. You take someone that drives a mini stock and they hop in a pro stock, yes, it's going to feel like, wow, I can't believe you do this. But a pro stock guy to jump into another pro, it's not like that. I let Corey Bubar take my car out a couple weeks ago in practice. He was there helping me with Mike Landry, and Mike was joking around. He's like, oh, you should let Corey hop in and take it out. I said, go ahead, you better make up your mind quick because we're lining up for second practice. So I let Corey Bubar hop in it, and he was just as fast as I was, and it was his first time ever at Wiscasset and first time ever in my car. So, I mean, when you can do it, you can do it, and it slows down.
So what is your future entail? You're in pro stock. That's pretty much the top of the food chain in the racing world. Is that it for you?
I'm happy right where I am.
There's no going back? Is there any kind of different racing that could happen that you might want to try?
I don't know. I mean, I like pro stocks, and as far as a weekly type racing, a pro stock's where I want to be. So, I mean, I've hopped in an enduro car. I've raced an enduro before. Not really my kind of racing, but they're fun.
Like I was telling you, when you watch that Hunt to the Front, they're all down south in late model dirt cars, and it's just insane when you watch it. 5 cars going to a corner, and the guy that's way away, you think nothing of it. If it were pavement, he'd still be way away. But then all of a sudden, boom, he slings around, and it's like, holy shit, he's in front.
That's a different kind of racing.
It's like, for the fans' perspective, you just have no clue who's going to come out.
But you know what? I feel like that's the type of racing a lot of the NASCAR drivers come from. Like you take Kyle Larson, okay? So I think that helps him on pavement because he can wheel a car.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's used to being sideways the whole time, and he can wheel it. But I don't know if I'd be able to do it or not.
So what is it about, like, dirt? These guys all went... Dirt is supposed to be the lower class than, say, pavement. But yet all these guys that make it to the top...
It is up here, you say, but down south, I mean, dirt racing is huge.
It's huge, but they still say pavement's the way to go. So your NASCAR's the big time. Why is it once these guys are the big time, the ones that still race every week, the Kenny Schraders and the Kyle Larsons and the Chase Briscoe and all, those dirt guys just can't walk away from it. They keep doing it. And so what is it about dirt that...
I don't know. hot top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the Bruins? What's your thought on the coaching change and all that other stuff?
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
No.
I hope it's going to be okay.
What
We
do you-
got Krejci back and Bergeron's back, so that's a good thing. Coaching, I don't think that it was Julian's fault, but you know, it just I don't know.
You've been watching the Bruins for so many years. You know the heartbreak.
Mhm.
All the big names, we watch them just go away.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
So
they have a tendency to do that.
so
They get
it's-
rid of those guys
Yeah.
for some reason.
they just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that ownership is really committed to
And-
winning. They like to make money, and
Yeah.
that's what it seems
Well,
to
that's
be.
unfortunate
So-
because us as fans, we want to see.
Personally,
the
I've moved away from the Bruins now.
Yeah.
I'm a Lightning guy. Just
games, so.
'cause-
Oh yeah,
oh,
yeah. Well,
I like it.
I won't hold it against you.
You
but
know,
it's all
once
right.
once you get a little older and you go down there, and that's your next phase of life. And
Yeah.
it's like, they
Well,
do
maybe
it-
I'll be down there.
They do it
someday
right.
with you,
I don't
and
know if
then
you
I'll
ever seen
change.
Tampa Bay hockey and stuff
Oh,
outside and stuff.
They
I
do.
mean,
They do.
you know, Wayne Gretzky, his biggest moment is when he was able to call his dad and say, "Dad, I just left hockey practice. I'm in my shorts and the top is
Right.
down." It's unbelievable
Yeah.
because hockey's usually Canada. And
Right.
it's freezing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, you've been a busy guy this year. You got married.
Did.
How has that, changed racing? You're
Oh,
still
I was gonna say
dominating
she's
racing.
right here.
Yeah,
I can't
know,
say too much. So.
You're dominating racing, and you still had the time to get married.
It's a hell of a year.
Busy,
It's a hell of a
busy
year. So it's been awesome.
Well, you go to the Boss Hog race. You get there when? In
What
the morning.
time?
Yeah. You're there bright and
Oh
early.
yeah, I'll be there at probably 8:00.
So you won the last race and probably turned a lap time that's probably pretty fast. What do you have
Not
to do to your
Not fast enough. No,
you
that's
need-
why it went back to Jeff Taylor today.
So it needs more speed to win the Boss Hog. The weekly series
I-
isn't going to be fast enough to win it.
I'm not going to say that, but my car wasn't what it should have been this last week. So brought it back over to him, did a setup, and hopefully we go out there and it's right back where it was before. So I mean, we'll see. It's all about maintaining that. It's not about going out and ripping off a 14.6 in practice. Like, yeah, you can win practice, that's fine, but I'm not concentrated on winning practice. I want to win the 10 grand. So, you know, I want to be there at the end of 150 laps, not the end of a 5-lap practice. So,
Do you look at the fans and say, well, there's a reason I have all these wins because I don't just go to the track with the same car every week. You know, like Dale Earnhardt's father told him, you know, you win that week, good, whatever. They're all hunting for you, so you better rip it apart and make it even faster.
But honestly, I don't. I don't. That's the thing. The car, I'm very fortunate. The car has been good right out of the gate when it was built last year. I don't change anything. It's just consistently good, and I like that because I don't want to spend all my time in the garage. I like to do other things. We go side-by-siding, you know, we hang out with friends a lot. I don't want to be in the garage every night. So when it goes as good as it has this year, I haven't had to spend a lot of time out there unless something gets wrecked or stove up, and, you know, then you got to do what you got to do. But for the most part, I'm pretty spoiled when it comes to that because the car's been that good.
On a beautiful week when everything went well, you have your week off, and then there's the next week. What do you do on a traditional week of maintenance?
Nut and bolt and clean.
That's it?
That's it.
Not bolt and
That's
clean.
it. Yep. My brother comes over on Wednesday nights. We spend a couple hours on the car, do a little bit of this, maybe a lot of this, and that's about it.
So when you look at your car, you know, you and your brother see what you're doing to it, and you're going out there fast, and you're watching guys in the pits busting their ass and doing this and doing that and all that. I know the age, the thing that they always say is, do the work at home, not at the track, kind of
Right,
deal.
yeah, yeah.
But when you see these people struggling out there, is there any part of you that wants to go over and say, hey,
Yeah, but
do
the
that?
thing is, I don't know enough to go up there and tell anybody what to do. You know, I bring it to Taylor, he sets it up, I keep the same stuff that he does, and we just go with it. So I don't know enough, and people don't believe me when I tell them that. I'm like, I really don't. And you can ask Michelle, you can ask my brother, you can ask anybody. I really don't. Yes, I can get in and drive if the car is good. If it's really out to lunch, I don't know what to do to fix it.
Wow. So you're not up on stagger?
Oh, about that, yeah. I mean, simple stuff like that. Yes,
and
absolutely. That kind of stuff. Yes.
gearing.
But as far as, you know, if I raise the right rear trailing arm 2 degrees, I don't know what it's going to do to the car. I have no idea. I'd have to ask someone to be like, hey, if I do this, what's it going to do? Because I don't know. But that's the good thing about Jeff. He gives you a very, very good baseline setup when it comes out of there, and I don't mess with it. But I think some guys, they have just enough knowledge to mess it up, and I don't. And I'm afraid to mess it up, so I don't touch much because I don't want to do that because I don't know how to get it back. And once you lose it, it's hard to get it back.
So who is it going into this weekend that you looking out for that you know is fast? Who's your biggest competition that you know is coming? Are there so many?
Jeez, it's hard to tell. I mean, there's some guys on that list are big name people that run pass, and you know, they've definitely got deeper pockets than I'll ever have, and a lot of knowledge and years of experience and stuff behind them that we really don't have. I mean, Mike Hopkins, he's always good. You know, he finished third last year. He's very good. I know Joey Poles signed up for the race. Max Cookson signed up for the race. So those guys are the ones that I'd really look out for, just because they do those long races on a regular basis. You know, I run 40-lap races. They run 150 every time they race. So that plays into it too, with the length of the race and how you manage your stuff and whatnot. I mean, last year it worked out great. We managed, you know, we didn't take the lead till after halfway, but I don't know. Those guys do it week in and week out, and I don't. So we'll see.
Going into the race, geez, what was I going to say here?
It's all right. I have those moments
I have
too.
those moments too. It's only like 95 degrees out, and there. Would you say your biggest competition in this race will be a weekly regular or someone from away? Is there like familiarity of being there each time, turning laps and getting that seat time there, more than just being a great driver coming there?
I feel like it'd be more of an outsider than the ones I race with weekly. Not that they're not capable either. I mean, Nick Hinckley finished second last year. That was really good to have two Wiscasset cars finish 1-2. So, and he'll be good. It's just, I feel like the guys with the long race experience that run pass and do this all the time. Even my future son-in-law, Austin, you know, he'll be there, Austin Terrace. So, you know, he'll be good. Those are the guys I really look at that make me nervous. I've always felt like in the years past we've been out-carred. You know, those guys got the best of the best stuff on theirs. You know, most of us that race weekly don't. But then again, it worked out last year. So I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
As you go to the final race of the year for the championship race, the champ night, is there any more emphasis, like you know you're going to win it, to try to win that race? Because when I watch it, when the winner of the race is out there doing burnouts and the champion's out there doing burnouts, does it take a little something away from it?
No, I'm gonna go for it. I mean, I can't get myself to not go and try to win the race. Right. I'm gonna try to win the race regardless of if it's a non-point race or whatever. Like even Fall Fury, you know, I want to win every race I'm in.
Second
so
sucks.
Second does. It's first loser.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. So either I won or I lost. Whether I lost at second place or I lost at 10th place, I still lost. So I want to win it.
What do you enjoy, or what are your fondest memories of the Boss Hog race? What do you consider the most fun? What do you enjoy about this weekend?
Just the hype of it all. You know, there's going to be thousands of people in the stands. It's a huge race. They put, you know, a lot of promotion into it, and the driver intros, and it's just it's like a big deal. It's a big race event, and that just makes it that much more special.
So if you look at this race and you plan it all out, how does it have to go for you? Can you start at the back and still win? Does it matter where you start in this race? Or, you know...
I feel it does.
So what is your goal?
Can someone start at the back and win it? Yes, absolutely. But if you start at the back, you got to deal with all the carnage coming up through, and it makes for a long day. So if I can start up in the top 10, let's say, that's a lot easier than starting 30th.
So for those fans out there, why don't you chart it out for them? Here we go. You're at the track, and here's the first heat race. You're trying to win again. Your plan. What do you have to come away with in a heat race to stick to your plan? I mean,
You know, honestly, it depends. I mean, last year I think we started 8th, maybe. We didn't start right at the front. I think I finished 3rd in my heat. I think. So that put me. I think we had 3 heats, and it put me 8th. I think. You know, ideally, I draw the pole and I win the heat, and I start on the pole for the race. I mean, that's ideal. That's what everybody wants, but only one person gets that. So that's probably not going to be me.
No, not this time.
No,
anyway.
no, it wasn't last time either. You know, the best you can hope for is a decent draw, and figure out, you know, where you want to start the feature and where you want to finish in the heat, and kind of go from there. You know, if there's 3 heats, and you know it's winner, 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 and then second. If I'm in the second heat, I probably want to finish second, because I don't want to start outside pole, or maybe I do, but the outside is a tough go, and you don't want to start the race there. So you just have to drive your car harder to get where you want to be.
How many laps have to transpire in the race before you get a feel of? You can probably tell how this day is going to go. It's going to be a bumping and banging fest, or it should be clean, and guys are going to be smart.
Sometimes this year, the first lap, you figure out it's a wreck fest, but we hope it's not like that for the Boss Hog. We're going to have a lot of high caliber drivers that run long races and know that you're not going to win it on the first lap. So, you know, when you're running 40 lap races, you have to push it a little harder because you only have so many laps to get it done. 150 lap race, most of the guys know, you know, I don't need to fight for this spot right now. We're 15 laps into the race, and it makes it a lot easier. And then with probably 50 to go, then you start turning it up and see what you really got.
So you're out front halfway through the race. You get excited, or are you just like, because I know when I go to the horse track in my horse, that first lap is out in front blowing everyone away. I go, oh shit, man, this is over. I might as well just throw my ticket away, because you know that the rest of it, it's over.
Right.
So when he's out front, you're thinking, oh man, way too early. This is no.
No.
So
Anything can happen at any time.
is the goal right to be at the front always as quick as you can, or just kind of sometimes just kind of?
It depends. Like last year, for instance, you know, I started a little bit further back, and I was riding in 3rd. And I even told my brother on the radio, I'm happy right where I am. I'm not pushing the car. I'm just riding here. I'm okay. Every restart, I'm on the bottom. So I didn't push it. But then when it got a little bit further, they started backing up to me a little bit. And I wasn't pushing it still, but they were backing up. So I told my brother, I said, well, if I pass, it was the 27 at the time. I said, well, if I pass the 27, I got to go after Josh and pass him. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck on the outside if we have a restart. So there's that part of it too. You know, you think, where do I want to be if the caution comes out? And if you're early in the race at Wiscasset, you want to be on the bottom. So if I'm running 3rd, 5th, 7th, I'm okay. And I'll just stay there until something happens, and then we'll go from there.
When you're on the track, does your car care what lane it's in? Can you run top, bottom? Can you run anywhere?
I mean, I can run the top. I mean, it's not as fast on the top. I don't think anybody's as fast on the top as the bottom. It's good.
They just don't stick up there. What is it? Why is
it's just less grip up there. It's tough. You gotta be a couple tenths quicker than the guy in front of you to drive around in Wiscasset.
Out of curiosity, I mean, I know they have great racing and all that, but even up at Speedway up in Bangor, they put that compound on it to make it sticky.
Yeah, they don't do that at Wiscasset.
No.
I wish they would. But
would it make? I mean, what kind of racing would you see if they put compound down on it?
Well, if they did, I mean, I think you'd have definitely 2 more equal grooves. You know, like Oxford this year for the 250. I haven't been down there all year. Normally Oxford, you go 3 wide. You know, you can run the top and still pick off people. And this year it seemed like the bottom was the place to be. And even you take the leader and he steps out to pass a lapped car, and he wouldn't just drive around him. It would take him a lap or 2 to get by him because the outside just wasn't as good as the bottom. And Wiscasset's always had that type of characteristic to it.
When you're driving along and you're watching someone and you're seeing them make the outside work unbelievable, do you say, oh shit, My hands are, because I go there and we're in trouble, you know.
Depends.
I mean,
Well, usually I've been lucky and we go pretty good on the outside. And at Wiscasset, that's where you got to make your passes, you know, unless you're going to root someone out of the way, which I definitely try not to do. You just got to set up and drive around them. But it may take you 3 laps to get by them instead of, you know, 1 corner if you were on the bottom. But you do what you got to do.
if someone wants to win the Boss Hog race, what do they have to go with at there? Big motor, great setup, great driver. What's it take to win?
Combination of everything. I'm not gonna say big power, but pretty much all of us run crate motors, so it's not a power issue. I feel like they have to have their car set up good enough to go on the outside if they're gonna win it, unless they're gonna be that guy that's gonna boot the leader out of the way. But you hope you don't see that, but it happens.
Do the drivers pre-race work on their car on the outside? Because basically you all know the inside's good, right? So do you practice what you suck at? Not suck, but your weak spot? Do you go up?
I mean, I don't know what everybody else does. I don't. If our car is really good on the bottom, it's probably going to be decent enough on the top, and that's kind of what I go with.
But you only
But I
know.
don't practice a lot either, so.
You only know when you try it, right?
You
And
gotta-
that's
you gotta
100
get out
miles an
there.
hour,
You
and
gotta
it's
get
a
out there.
rolling the
Well,
dice
you
as a stick.
You got to get out there. You know, it's the only way you're going to know. If the guy's slow enough in front of you, you got to jump out there and try it. And if you don't, you're going to play follow the leader. So.
A little different scenario is, remember when we had the COVID and the Cup guys didn't get any practice, and you watched the race and it was first corner. What's
Yep.
going to happen? Yeah, what would that be like? Could you do that? You know, go in your car at that speed and.
I could at a track that I race all the time, but those guys are going different tracks every week,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
It's
That's why they're out there and I'm not.
gonna be
So.
horrifying,
Yeah,
I would think.
I would say so.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on, and if there's anyone you want to thank, you know, feel free to thank them.
It's
And
all the above. It's it's Jeff Taylor, it's Richard Manessa Jordan, it's all my sponsors, all of them that I've already named. It's my wife for putting up with this, my brother for all he does. He's my guy. If I didn't have him, if there was one person I didn't have that I would have to give up racing, it's my brother. And I already told him not long ago. I said, if whenever you decide you are done with this, then just let me know and I'm okay with it. So when that happens, then I'll be done. But
when all those fans head to Wiscasset to watch the Boss Hog, what can they expect this weekend?
I hope the 18 in Victory Lane.
That's good. I want to wish you good luck, brother.
Thank you.
And you good luck as well, and hammer down.
Thank you for watching the Renegade Network. Please click on the like and subscribe button and join the Renegade Racing Experience. Thank you.